This is the Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. What's going on, Matt?
Just another day in paradise.
Yeah. So, what did you think about the random video I showed you?
You know, I see a lot of obnoxiousness. I see, it's not against the law to have it's a what do they call that? A helper dog or a
Service dog.
Service dog. Yeah, and then the guy has a disability. It's not against the law to bring the dog in. And basically the woman was like, hey, I can scream the loudest, so everybody watch me and hear me.
Well, and I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's like during the day, like when we talked earlier today, it was, what do I do normally? Like show prep, I'll look anything that's topical on the news, anything that's going on in, in that realm. And I'm like, okay. And, I'm a crazy extreme dog lover, right?
Sure.
So when I watched it, it always brings up a couple questions like, okay, that one individual, but there are more individuals like that.
Probably.
That are, wandering the planet. Now, did you notice, no, the story basically is they were all dining in a restaurant. Well, the gentleman comes in, he's ex-military.
Sure.
It's a service dog for PSD, right? So he's got PTSD, whatever. Yeah. So post-traumatic stress syndrome. So he's got the service dog. The dog is sitting, at his feet. The woman is just an individual. Now, I've met plenty of people that just don't like animals, right? And there's certain cultures that think they're filthy animals and whatever. Sure. But as I was watching it, I'm just like, wow, the behavior, and it escalated. If anyone, go on Fox 2 News, you can see the ad. It should be on Facebook or anywhere through there. But it just escalated into the camera always starts after the initial. So it's real easy to be. I mean, granted, her behavior was ridiculous, but you never know exactly how it started.
Oh, for sure, you don't know what's in the. But as for the video, for what was shown, the dog is just sitting there doing its own thing, not bothering anybody. It's a calm dog, and those dogs are highly trained for any type of situation. Don't come and pet. You can't pet my dog. Or you can't do this, or you can't do. There's seizure dogs. There's all kind of dogs, and I'm pretty sure the dog was just sitting there doing nothing, and it just sounds like a woman that just was like, oh my gosh, there's a dog in my, in my area. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those.
I don't know. It's kind of bizarre to me because when you think about it, you walk into a restaurant. I've worked in the restaurant business.
Sure.
You've worked in the restaurant business. Yeah. If you knew what went on behind the scenes in the cooking area, the floors, the cleaning processes, right? You're paying transitional workers that are. This isn't a career job for anyone there, right?
Right.
People don't care. If you've ever managed a kitchen or done whatever and went through the cleaning process or the end of the cleaning process at a bar or anything, it gets kind of. You're not in the cleanest of places to begin with.
Right.
You would be cleaner at your own house and in your own kitchen.
Right.
So when you go out, you almost have to know that. I mean, the health department gives you a heads up when it comes by to clean your establishment.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Dude, the other 364 days out of the year, that place is not in normal upright condition.
Dude, in just normal food. This is like off tangent being the state coming in. Dude, they're allotted to have X amount of rat poop in a hot dog, X amount of fucking a cat's ear or whatever it may be. Just there's a certain percentage. If you don't go, you're cool. You can make that hot dog, but there's probably rat feces, mouse feces. There's a certain percentage. So
because, look, it's a classic example of shit happens, right?
Literally.
No pun intended with the rat and
a poop.
But, when you think about a person doesn't like a dog to be in their presence when they're. Now, it seemed like she was just a pretentious, she doesn't like dogs. She feels that she shouldn't see a dog in her presence. But if you look at the hygiene, the overall hygiene of the situation, you're walking with shoes on, right? So how would a dog be contaminating your space, right? You've got shoes on, you're walking on the ground. The dog walks in, walks on the ground, right? You could be walking out in the parking lot, stepping antifreeze, dog poo, any number of contaminants.
Blood aids blood.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you took that
just thrown out there.
When's the last time you ran into somebody with the old HIV?
No, but I did run into a waitress. I found out through the grapevine that she had hep, and she was a waitress. So I kind of freaked out a little bit.
But you found out. People say a lot of things like, like any number of things, like, oh, Matt has hair on one arm and not the other,
yeah,
and you wouldn't know, right?
right,
Like you've got a mole in the shape of a gazelle on your left
Right.
nipple. We wouldn't know,
No.
right?
Well-
sometimes people say things about people for no apparent
Right,
reason
right.
without knowing. But
I'm just saying,
yeah, no, it's weird. We had this talk about, like, we had to talk a little while ago, not to go too far off the. It was just an interesting thing. I'm a super dog lover. The behavior of people in public sometimes baffles me. It was absurd. Like, did you notice, like, when women go haywire and get, fanatical like that in an argument? Both of the guys,
they're just like, fuck it.
the military guy and her boyfriend were just standing there, and he was like,
He's like
"Man,
shaking
I'm
his
sorry,
head like,
I don't know."
It,
But who would stay with somebody, after behavior like that? I mean, I think we all have dealt with maybe a female that has behaved that way at one time in life, right?
right.
I know
Pussy's got to be good. It's got to be good pussy.
Yeah. No,
You know what I mean? That's the only reason we'd say with a psycho.
yeah. Or you're just like, balls, right? I got to deal with this. She doesn't do it all the time. Do I really want to go out and you got to go through the whole process of meeting another person and running around and doing whatever, right? It seems like a
Courting,
Yeah.
walking on the beach, candles.
balls.
Yeah,
I
I
got to go back to, hand over the sweater, boob grab, right? Like, who wants
right.
that?
First
right?
base.
That's right.
First base.
No more first base once you're in a relationship,
No.
especially with a crazy
No,
broad.
That's right.
But and that's a decent like segue right there. Like, okay, crazy behavior, with females like that. I thought I had moved back in 2009, right? So I'm back in 2009. There was a girl that actually lived in QRS's neighborhood.
Sure.
All right. So I like that. That's going to be the abbreviation for his name now. It's
Right.
just anything that is at the end of the alphabet, right?
It's yeah.
So I'm in his neighborhood, and there was a girl that it was weird. She was a year or two younger, but as pretty as a picture, like
Sure.
blonde hair, blue eyes. I'd never been with the blonde hair. I don't understand them. They're a fictitious creature
Right.
to me. None of them will, I don't know. It's weird. So, but she was awesome, and she used to hit on me in like summer school when I came back from Texas, and I had to get my grades. I had to take an extra class or two and get my grade point up because I had left Texas
Sure.
with no pass, no play.
Right.
When Ross Perot instituted that, and kind of Michigan didn't, but
Yeah.
Texas sure did.
So you got to make up.
So as I'm getting back and this girl, and I'm like, no, I'm like, dude, I'm like a year or two older than you. I'm not that nice of a guy. Like, you're cutesy, blonde. I mean, you're really being aggressive, but I think you're just playing. You're gonna regret this if I did. And then I always wondered, like, afterwards, like I'd be like, in between like a just a half-ass relationship with a girl, like in my senior year, or like summer before college or whatever, and I'm like, I wonder whatever happened to that little chick. And then one day I drove by and saw her. I think it was like 20 or 21. She lived in QRS's
Right,
neighborhood.
right.
So I drove by and I was like, oh, well, how creepy would that be? It's been like 2 or
Hey,
3
it's
years.
me.
Like, I'm just going to stop in and go, hey, what's happening?
Remember me?
Like, how are you? So years go by. I never see this chick. I always wonder, like every 2 to 3 years, I was like, man, maybe I should have been a bad dude.
Right.
Like, Lord knows I've done it as I've gotten older. I've done many questionable things that I didn't,
Yes.
pull back the reins on. Right. So I'm like, I was like, now I was in Uptown Plymouth, which I never go to. And it was like some kind of a reunion. Somebody was back in town. So
Sure.
we all went up there.
Sure.
And as I'm up there and I'm hanging out, I see this girl and I'm like, boom, the memory comes back, the whatever. Now, this has been years, mind you. This hasn't been like, it's only been 2 or 3 years. This is a good number of years. And I think, and I'm like, wow, I wonder if that's that chick, right? So I'm thinking all the random stuff. I go back to this drinking with my buddies like this, and she may happen to be over there. And I was like, I wonder. All of a sudden, I looked over and I was like, where did that little blonde chick go? Whoop, was right up on my side and went, hey, is your name Jake? And I went, oh.
Yes.
I was like, pretty girl from my summer school class. What are you doing? I was like, what? She was like, you remember me? I was like, you obviously remember me. And I was like, this is like kismet or some kind of.
I've dreamt of you.
Yeah, this is some kind of weird, like, and she still looks good. She's a hot older dame. And I went,
Nice.
and I was lifting in pretty good shape. And she was like, what are you? She was like, are you on steroids? I'm like, I'm 30-something years old. What do you mean am I on steroids?
Did you
right?
seal the deal?
Yes, I did seal the deal.
Attaboy.
Okay. Now, but it takes a weird turn. I didn't know anything about her, right? So her life could have been great, horrible, could have been any number of things. So as we hang out that night, she ends up giving me her number or whatever, calls me before I even get in my car in the parking lot. Right? So it's like high school, right? And I'm like,
Right.
DTD, and I'm
You're
like
all
giddy.
fucking pumped.
So we end up talking. we talk, and I'm thinking I'm going to set up a date, right? Because I don't know how fast she moves, how fast she doesn't. She tells me, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, I want to come over. I want to come over like right now. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, okay. Like, you know, I'm already in bed with my box. Like, I'm texting in bed, like half asleep.
Right.
So I have to get up and like kind of put clothes on. And she comes over. She was slightly intoxicated, but I didn't know how much, right? Because I don't know how much does she drink, how much doesn't she drink. So she comes over and we hang out and this and that. So we end up messing around that night. And I'm like, cool. We put the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's go out on a date, which I'm never good at either. Like it's like if I can have like random one night stand sex or whatever, kind of hard to get me to take you to a movie.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like
especially
just make me do
5 hours of
knowing.
passed.
Yeah, I've only known you for like, you know, a day maybe. Like,
Right.
We're not even
a day.
So we start to date and hang out and whatever, right? So I bring her around my friends. I bring her around AP and everyone. And we go to the Avenue, which used to be the Rookie,
Sure.
right? So it's in our neck of the woods, our little hometown bar. So I take her over there, and I'm like, okay, cool. We go in. We have some drinks. I'm kind of showing her off to the friends. And, okay, if you're going to hang out with me, you're going to have to get used to some of these yahoos, right? AP's an acquired taste.
For sure.
What does AP do? We have some drinks. He's wasted. He walks over, slaps her on the ass 15 minutes into whatever. And come to find out, she's not a pushover chick. She turned around and, the hell are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, but not angrily. They end up like she ball busts with him.
Nice.
And then this and that. And he walks by and she smacks him on the ass. I'm like, oh my God, this could be Great White Buffalo, right? Like she could be that one magical, like you know, unicorn chick.
Just like me.
I'm like, what? Actually, more than me because AP slaps me on the ass. I'm like, dude, we're going to have problems. Knock it off.
Right.
Like, stop touching me. Why are you stop touching me?
Stop touching me.
So I'm like, okay, cool. So the night progresses a little bit, and you know, I'm not a real, obsessive guy, right? And you know, I'm like, oh, go ahead, do whatever. We're at a bar. I barely know you. We're only on a couple dates, but I figure it's. I even had the thought in my head like I wasn't going to move back to Texas because this chick. The serendipitous
everything's cool
nature of everything. I'm like, oh, I knew I shouldn't watch these like romantic comedies. This is stupid. And she, as we're doing whatever, she ends up. I see her arguing with some guy or whatever, and she comes over, and I'm like, whoa, I lost. Maybe she had one too many drinks.
Sure.
She comes over and goes, oh, this guy asshole, whatever. And I'm like, well, guys are assholes. Just leave them alone. Dude comes over like in between, her and I, starts talking. She starts going off on him. I'm like, no, I don't need drama. So she kind of pulls a yell and screaming match like the lady who was on Fox 2 about the PSD dog, right?
Sure.
This is where the whole thing tied in, just bad behavior. So not only was it a little, and I was like, whoa. So I grab her and I was like, dude, be cool, right? And I was like, hey, guy, sorry or whatever. And but he was being a dick. But I'm still going to say sorry because really doesn't matter. If you're being a dick, it's my job to do that, not yours, or we leave the situation, right?
Right.
So now she's back and still being kind of, a little bit cocky, crazy, whatever. Get ready to leave. She starts yapping at them. They start yapping at her. It's going on again. And I'm like, man, one of my buddies, like AP, was like, grabbed her and was like, dude, shut your mouth, whatever. Grabs her and was like, just get out of the bar. So I'm like, cool. I was saying goodbye to a friend or two of mine. And I had some big dudes with me, too. I had my buddy by the names Tiny and Big Joe.
Right.
Big Joe's 6'9", like 300. And he used to bounce at Thomas's bar down in Downriver.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Big Joe.
Yeah, I know.
6'9"
I know,
guy.
I remember.
And then Tiny, the big ginger who used to hang out with AP.
Yep.
Big Tiny. So I'm sitting there. Dude walks up to me, like dead in my face, and goes, hey, man, just so you know, I'm not the one to be messing with. And I went,
okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was like, cool. And, he gets a little bit closer. And he's doing – now, mind you, I don't – Jakey is,
Zen. Buddha.
Yeah, Buddhist right at this point, right? And I'm like, no. I was like, look, fella. I was like, dude, you can be whatever you want to be or whoever you want to be. I just, prefer it if you did it a few steps away from me, right? The words don't even get out of his mouth. AP comes in.
Oh, fuck.
Snatches him up, picks him up, like hip tosses him on the ground. A melee starts. All kinds of shenanigans. Everything's getting, people are this. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, where's the chick? So I go outside. She's causing a ruckus in the parking lot like she's a WWE wrestler and, slapping, I'm like, who are you and why are you doing this? Like,
right.
I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. So a little more shenanigans. Everyone gets out of the bar. Some words are exchanged. I'm like, dude, I'm like literally having to drag her back to the car.
Jesus.
And the whole night, all of this could have been avoided by her, and I don't want to say ladylike behavior, but I do not want to be with a chick who gets into argument fights or causes my friends to all get into fights and whatever. Now, the guy could have been an asshole, but what you do is you leave the situation.
Right. You just exit the whole situation.
Exactly. And cool. I mean, you hate to do that, but in the world we live in, that whole conversation, somebody could have pulled out a gun and shot somebody.
Right.
Come to find out, these guys were all either SWAT officers or federal agents.
No.
So them being real like dicky and asshole-ish and
That's
whatever.
what they do.
Yeah, which you would think they would hold themselves to a different accord.
Right.
And again, not all of them,
No.
right? Not all of them. But yeah, that was the deal. Well, they get in their limo bus thing on the side, and they're kind of mad because there was a lot of pushing and shoving, and Big Joe and Tiny and AP. Let's just say they pushed a couple people around and moved them around, right? And I think their feelings were hurt. So I'm leaving, and I'm driving back to to my house ish. If the night would have gone on right, we would have been going to my house. What did happen is I drove right past 275 exit, and she said, she kind of just looked. Where are we going? I'm not sure, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going, but you're going back to where I picked you up. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of over tonight in general. And well, what? You don't think this was my fault, do you? And I went, look, I'm just going to go ahead and drop you off, right? It just wasn't a good night. Tonight wasn't, not the way I like to spend my Friday nights, right?
Right.
So as the feeling of like, starry-eyed, magic stardust and pixie dust is just draining out of my body. Like,
right. Fuck.
Yep, you're just like every other
Psycho.
crazy broad on the planet. And I was like, balls. So I get there and she's like, what? Well, are you like, still when I got to the house, she thought I was kidding. And I was like, okay, cool. So, I'll see you. And you're really just dropping me off. And I was like, yeah, I was like, look, I'm tired. That was a lot of shenanigans. I'm going to go back to, over APs and make sure everyone's cool and whatever. But yeah, I'm just going to go, I'll call you tomorrow. And of course I never called tomorrow. And that was it. Like it was snip.
Done.
Like you've got to let it go. Like, and I see it in bars and I see females behaving this way. And I guess I'm like weird and sheltered in that I don't believe ladies should, ironically my birth mother does. Her nickname is Mad Dog, right?
Right.
So, and maybe that's why I'm so sensitive to it. Maybe other guys can deal with it. Like maybe the dude in the video, just went, oh, we're never going to go back there again. And he's just going to deal with it. I mean, I would have walked out in her behavior right there. I would have went, like it obviously wasn't the first time. You heard how long
you throw those girls out of the bar.
I would just walk out and just go home. I'd have left her there. Like, that's it. Like, I've gotten to there is no explanation needed for me anymore. It's like, I'm just going to go ahead and go.
See ya.
So, hey, we should go. Nope. Okay, I'm going to get in the car. Dude, I'll pretend I don't even know you. Your stuff will be on the lawn. I'll have moved. Like, dude, I'm quick. It's like the movie Heat. Like, don't be afraid to get out of anything, that you can't get out of in 15 minutes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Bug out.
I got a bag. I got a bug out bag. Dude, just
Who doesn't?
It's weird. Got to go.
That's funny.
Don't know who's coming and looking for me. Got to go. Have you ever dated like crazy like that or? Well, crazy behavior like that, like outward. Anyone can have crazy attributes in relationships, right? The yelling and screaming, the arguing, the whatever. But in public,
no, I never dated because I seen it growing up all those years working at all the different establishments.
Yeah.
And when said girl gets a cocktail in her, or it's just really, it doesn't embarrass me. It's just like,
it's unattractive.
I don't want to fucking deal with this.
Yeah,
it's really it's taxing, and there's just no need for it, and I can't deal with it. I'm just like you. I've never dated anybody like that really. I mean, I was married for 13 years, so
yeah,
I might have married one.
Well,
but
she never showed her hiney in front of me before. I mean, as far as I knew, everything was cool.
Right.
But again, everyone's relationship.
Oh, for sure.
Well, the reason why I got out of one of my major long distance relationship is because she punched me in the chin and then threw like another punch at me. And I'm like, what?
What are you doing?
Like I told you a million times, dude, I will never put my hands on you. Don't put your hands on me.
Now, I've been with buddies' friends that their women are like that.
Oy.
And I'm just like, dude, get your girl. Seriously. Time to go home. I mean, there's been many occasions where I've been my buddies' friends. I mean, just like that guy. He was like looking at me like, this is just what it is. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not what it is.
No,
this is ridiculous. You know,
absolutely not how it's supposed to be.
no, it's ridiculous. I totally agree.
We've got a cool event going on. It's in the middle of the week, so I know it's not you, but it does mash my two favorite things together: the animal rescue party at the landing strip.
I saw that, and I clicked like.
Did you? Very
Yes,
good. Way
yes.
to be proactive, sir.
That's what I'm thinking about.
But yeah, I'm gonna go. I mess with a few of the rescue groups and a lot of the customers that come into the inland
check
vapors.
this out. You know, it was funny that you brought up the whole dog thing. So me and the missus we go for the drive. You know, just go to the party store or whatever, and you know, just drive around the lake and check it out.
For sure.
There's this dog that comes up. This little Benji, cute. I mean, I'm not a small dog lover. I'm a big dog lover.
Okay.
And we have our pit bull Jake, and he's a lover.
This is a good name.
And but this little Benji dog comes up. It had to be a puppy, and it came right into the party store. No owners. So Jolene is a dog loving. She's just loving everything about an animal. So she's like concerned about the dog, and I'm like, okay, honey, what do you want to do? So she gets a leash. We get the dog. Now we're driving around the lake, stopping joggers, people.
Just asking everyone.
Have you seen this dog? And no, I haven't. So we went to the police station. They were closed. So the dog is now spending the night at the house, and we're gonna go for the chip thing tomorrow. But as a puppy, it was cute. It just got groomed because it smelled all shampooey. So the dog was just recently lost. You know what I mean? Had a collar, and the cop gave us the Humane Society number and. Hey, check out the dog. We'll do all that, all that stuff tomorrow. But it was just funny how you brought up the dog thing, and we got we took pictures of the dog, put it on the Love of Louie.
So you got the dog at the
house?
house?
You know the Love of Louie, right?
I do.
Yeah, so we put
that is the go-to. Like if your dog's lost and whatever.
Yeah.
But see, I wouldn't. Then again, my dogs never leave my line of sight. Like I'm psycho with my dogs.
Right.
I know where my dogs are at all times. They're, no.
So Joe I took a picture. So Joe posted it on Love of Louie, and so hopefully we'll get a response. Cute dog. I gotta admit, it's a cute dog. So that's what I did.
So
right
the
before I got
dogs.
here.
So the dog's chilling at Joel's house.
Chilling
Nice.
at the house with Jake.
If I didn't have 38 dogs, I'd say, well, you can give them to me. I'll take them.
The dog is cute. I mean, like I said, I'm not a cute. It's a Benji, little fruffy, little cute thing. And
I've ironically always wanted a Benji. I think they're like rat terriers or something close to a rat terrier.
Right.
I just think the weird, Master Splinter, Ninja Turtle, look of a dog or whatever. It's always appealed to me, but I never got myself to, into
so
that realm.
we did our good deed for tonight.
Dude, that's a super good deed.
But.
And what's the deal with what's the deal? I think if you bring, it's free admission to the bar if you bring
a dog.
No, but they've joked because part of my excuse to not go is sometimes is like, dude, I'm at home with my dogs, man. I really I think I'm gonna be chill and whatever. And they're like, bring Scoob. And I'm like, dude, you don't want Scoob up here. I was like, it would be great security. Could you imagine, dude, you could cut one security officer. If you were standing there with a Belgian Malinois Shepherd or a trained German Shepherd, dude, you walk in, this and that, and, you could do the, any drugs on you tonight, sir? The dog is trained. I will do whatever. You could weed out quite a few. If you're super criminal, whoa.
Hey, I'm not leaving. No, a friend of mine, the guy, the hard body guy that's the SWAT guy, he's got one of those dogs that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
sweet dog.
Insane, just energy and the amount of jacking with you he does and the things he does. Mine's just a year old, so he stopped doing horrible stuff. But man, he's a lot. Like today, he just pestered me until I took him for a walk.
Right,
dude, and not mildly. Walk over and stand on your chest in bed. I was laying in bed on the phone. I see you go, hey, text me and call me. Standing on my chest.
Dude.
And I'm like, dude. And then I'll go to move one leg, and he'll position the other to again, almost collapse a lung, and
dude,
and then stick his face in front of me and just put his nose and jowl on me. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's doing it in the most loving, nice way. Right. And then I get up and I'm in my office and I'm like, Mama, I'm trying to do this stuff, and it's not like they come over and he just barrels into me and moves me over and leans against me, starts gnawing on my elbow.
That's awesome.
I'm like, all right, guy. And then and he's vocal, so we'll start talking.
Oh, really? Jake's like that too. Jake's, he's a red-nosed pit bull, lean, small dog, but just gorgeous love. And dog's 12-year-old acts like he's one, runs, plays like he's one. And if he was pouting because we had another dog in the truck, So instead of him getting in the window and sticking his head out with the whole tongue thing, he's sitting and he's got his chin on the window, looking out like
what's
like what about me, guys?
Yeah, I gotta share my attention with you all
right,
now.
or he'll come up to, like, I'm watching the news or watching TV. He'll come up and he'll put his face on my leg, like he'll look at me like either pet me, take me outside or something. And then he looks like one of those Humane Society Sarah McLachlan song in the background,
just depressed,
looking at me. I need attention. I'm like, really? I go, Joe. He's doing the animal shelter commercial look, and he's just like, please take me outside. Please give me attention.
Yeah, dude. And I think it's sometimes I've seen other people that had multiple dogs and their dogs get along and they're both happy. My old black lab hates me right now. Like, dude, why is this other creature here?
Really?
Right?
Jealous?
Yeah, but I think it's the way that I am with my dogs because Scoob is super. Like, if I'm petting Shadow, he's got to come over.
Sure.
And she'll back away. And like, I just create needy, weird dogs. But I am better to my dogs than most people. And
Joe tucks our dog in at night at the foot of our bed with covers.
Yeah, no,
every
that's
night.
good.
Every
That's
night.
acceptable.
Every night.
I told you I stopped talking to that girl because she doesn't like dogs. Like, it's a new prerequisite. Like, I have to. It's done and over with.
She puts, she does the ice in the water for him. When he's he should, sometimes he hand feeds him. She hand feeds him just because she's just being lovey to him.
Hey, check this out. Okay, so the Landing Strip Animal Rescue Party, Friday, October 6th. Bring in dog or cat food and get in free. Fundraiser to benefit the Good Juju Rescue Fund. And the Landing Strip Lounge, easy enough found, Romulus, Michigan. If you don't know about it, you should know. I'm not going to go too far into it. But I was telling you but I will be there. The Bachelor Pad will be there.
They should bring dogs. They should let the dogs
You know
in.
what? I'm going to ask. If they haven't, I'm going to see.
the dogs out?
That's right. I'll have
Who?
Scoob. I don't know.
The song?
Oh, I know the song. I know the song. I thought you were asking, like, literally, like, who let the dogs out. I'm like, right. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Part of my social media carousing earlier today, I've got a buddy. His Facebook is JR Winning, right? Jimmy. He's my boy from Dallas.
Sure.
He's one of my best friends in Dallas. His cousin friend, or they're just family enough that they become cousins. I don't know. They got same skin tone, but it's hard to tell. But he popped in with I'm seeing multiple posts about infidelity in relationship. My question is, what do you think the psychological thinking process is when a person, man or woman, goes out and cheats? I'm curious, right? So he does a lot of this.
Right.
He does a lot of, like, relationship stuff. The dude's got more chick friends on Facebook than I've ever seen in life.
Really?
Like,
I'll stalk him.
Yeah, no, you should. Yeah, add him as a friend. Just I'm Jake's friend. You're fine. You're my friend now.
All right.
But he's interested as soon as we get phone lines and whatever. And every time he does, he gets tons of women. And I'm the only, like, guy that chimes in. I'm like, and I always throw off a different thing.
Right.
And then, Jimmy's a black guy, majority of black women on the thing. And then I throw in my 2 cents. So I end up chopping it up with black women about relationships, which I have seen that whoever he's friends with, like his friend core group, we do not see eye to eye on things. Like,
really?
they're very relationship-y and whatever. And I'm like, no. I gave them the, look, the whole thing we talked about the other day.
Yeah.
But, right off the bat, speak on it. And another person puts up a Michael Jackson meme of, I'm just here to read the comments. And then it goes deeper. They're lacking something from the one they are in a relationship with. That's why they're cheating, right? So it's interesting for me to not only look at my viewpoints or yours or anyone we talk to personally, but then when you're getting random people that you don't know and you start getting their, not always true. You could be doing everything for your supposed, or everything you're supposed to, and it's still not enough. Yes, I know I've lived that way, and I'm divorced now. Sucks. It does, especially, when you've worked, for 10 years and you're alone with 5 children and, you've done everything to try and make it happen. A lot of people throw God in there, whatever. And that's what kills me when you look at marriage and, from a biblical standpoint, and people that, claim to be Christians and
sure.
this and that. You guys are all getting divorced too, right? Nobody's taking it seriously. Like, dude, leave your religion part out of it. It's because
that doesn't work.
I can go on a huge diatribe of the, what it actually was. I chimed in with some stuff. It just kept going. And, the weird thing, there were a couple people that were progressive and went, look, if you're dating someone and, if you're doing, X, Y, and Z and you're dating, cool. It's really not cheating until you're married, right? Like boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, odds are going to come and go and whatever. It's transitional at best. When you get married, that's when the majority of the people on here considered that to be cheating is when you're married.
Sure.
You made a commitment to somebody. And, I'm so off the radar with that. Like, I'm so different. And I don't understand I just don't know if I've gotten to a point in my life where, ego-wise, like, if I leave somebody, who's she leaving with? Is she leaving with? Is the guy better? Is it this? It really doesn't matter. She left you. Like, why are you thinking 2 levels down or cheating? Like,
it all depends on the situation. Who left who cheated on who, why,
Right, but nobody can ever get the answer for why. Who
right,
really tells
right,
the
but
truth?
But that's what those other people, other than yourself, are clinging on to. Like, what happened? Why? Oh my God, I'm jealous. Like, what is she doing now? That's what that is.
Yeah, what did this girl do that I didn't?
Right. So I get that. I think the majority of divorces are
look,
sex or financial. One of the two.
Yeah, and sometimes you can't satiate someone's sexual. Okay, here's a good segue. Thank you, J.R. Winning, for getting us on there, because nymphomaniacs. Have you ever dated a girl that you could not satiate? That no matter what you did, she would want to have sex like 38 times in a night. Like, I've got stuff to do in the morning, woman. Like, and not just like one time. Like, the wine really got me this weekend. But I'm talking,
it's like a second job.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's disturbing. All guys, even myself at a young age, was like, dude, that'd be so awesome, bro. You get a nympho or whatever. It's not.
No.
It's really.
It's work. It's actual work.
Dude, actual work. I mean, especially when you're putting in, you're putting in good work. You're doing what you need to do, right? You've been with many, many women. You know that, cool. You mess around and have sex for 30, 45 minutes, right? Changing positions, taking little,
breaks.
Half cuddle breaks and whatever, this and that. But you knock it out in like construction, sex form for 45 minutes, use toys and, a vibrator and this. And you've
drill.
done,
Yeah.
I mean, there's been, foreplay up the yin-yang, no pun, not on my yin-yang, her yin-yang.
Sure.
But all kinds of foreplay in and around and everything. And then, cool, right? Yeah, it's awesome. That was good. And then romp and grab and baby, okay. And at first it was good to fluff the ego a little bit, like,
sure.
You just can't get enough of daddy, can you? Well, then again and again and again, and now it's like 4:00 in the morning. You guys were just watching a movie, and now you're into your 4th or 5th time,
right?
And it's not like I don't want to anymore. Like, it's the 5th time in a one night. This isn't a weekend. This is a Tuesday, bitch. Right. This is Tuesday.
Daddy's got to get up in 2 hours.
Yeah. Like, dude, I have stuff to do, and so do you. Well, so do I. And I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with you, right? And you figure maybe it was one random night. She was just really horny. And then it happens again and again and again. And I was like, oh, my God. And I'm, at some point, and I'm kind of good with communications, right? Like, the first time I was like, oh, my God. Happened a second time. After that, I was like, bro, what are you doing? She was like, what? I was like, dude, how much is enough? Like, like we would finish like the 4th or 5th time and she'd be, diddling herself. And like she was possessed. Like, it was like, the Omen or something, like, I just, and then come here. And I'm like, no,
I can't.
Like, leave it. Like, dude, no. I'm good for the marathon sessions, like the 4 times, 5 times a day.
Right, for sure.
On a Sunday.
Like
every
all
week
day.
On a Sunday. I'll do it in the morning. You give me like 2 or 3 after we have like,
halftime?
Egg McMuffin and whatever.
Halftime?
Yeah, dude, plenty. I mean, dude, no problem. And it's just a want to, like, oh my God, like, no. And it would be flattering to be like, oh my God, she digs me so much that she just can't get enough. No. There's something wrong with your odometer on your vajayjay. Like, it doesn't, like, it's not stopping, like your dryer that doesn't stop at the stop button and just keeps going around on cycles. Yeah, bad news.
Unlimited.
Yeah, I haven't had one in a while, but that's
is it a like issue where if she can, like, 5 times, she can get off 5 times in one session, or is it a single session, then chill, another session, chill, or is it I'm going to get off like 6 times? She does.
At that point, I didn't even count. I mean, let's just say, she was enjoying herself thoroughly. Yes, she did have orgasms during the, during the whatever, right? She was real easy, like, oh, I can come really easy. And then would keep going and going. Like, if one was good, 13 would be better.
Right.
Jesus, I don't have time to spend 22 minutes every time to get you one or two. Like, dude, I feel accomplished. If I got you where you need to be, 2 or 3 times, heck, even one in a session, done my job. I'm only getting one. Why do you get 13? And I don't want 13. That's a lot of work on my behalf. Right? I've only got a certain amount, physically that can actually,
work.
13, after a while it's powdered milk, right? It's dust. I'm going to pull out and I'll show you, right? Like, yeah, it's bad news. So
I agree.
I don't know. That was a weird turn from the relationship side, but yeah, like it's just it's odd. I'm extremely monogamous, right? In a relationship, I have no want to be with multiple people.
Sure,
just give me one good one. And that's why when I was reading those posts on Facebook, you never know what it is. There's certain people, friends included, that we know they could be with a chick and I want a girlfriend and whatever, but they still need to cheat. Now, there's something psychological that is in them.
For sure.
And there's no way to know. It is literally Russian roulette.
It's a something. Yeah, right. It's one of those situations where, hey, I got to have that little flavor. I got to have this for sure thing, but I need something new.
And me, the funny thing is, and it's so hard. I tell girls this and they think I'm lying, right? And why shouldn't you, right? Because you've heard everything from every dude. I'm not going, as long as the relationship is cool and whatever. The flip side is I don't care what you do. If you need to go get side hoagie on a Wednesday, go right ahead. If you
married or not married?
Dude, well, number one, I wouldn't get married again.
Okay, all right.
Because it's stupid.
Let's pretend.
No, I'm not pretending. Let's pretend I'm not pretending that. Why would I get married? It's a religious institution. I'm making a vow with God. I'm an atheist. And I also don't believe, if you read back biblically what marriage was, you were buying that man's daughter.
Sure,
right?
Basically.
Your wife was your possession. If you want to go biblically and be like, you're mine, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I got a receipt for you. You know what I mean? Like, there you go. You're mine. Do what the fuck I say, right? Whatever I want to do, you do. I'm not that guy.
No.
But it's totally different. This whole, bastardization of what marriage is in, Catholic and, and Christianity and whatever is ridiculous. The man is the head of the household. When you did go to get married, you had to bring the father of the bride,
sure.
or you had the father of the the person you were going to marry, a dowry. You had to bring him goods, right?
Right.
2 goats, some chickens, and some beaver pelts or whatever, right? You had to give them things for them to give the daughter. Nobody was giving their daughter away for free. Your daughter was a farmhand at that time.
I gave up Whoppers.
You gave up Whoppers?
Yeah.
For what? To get married?
Yeah.
You brought a sack of Whoppers?
Yes. With cheese.
That's not. I mean, dude, in this day and age, if anyone got anything, right? Because normally the dad's got to pay for the liquor at the wedding and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you were just throwing in some Whoppers and whatever. Yeah.
Seal the deal.
Chicken fries. Chicken fries would have been a nice.
I can't.
Maybe the marriage would have lasted if you would have given chicken fries.
Chicken fries.
I've never had the chicken. I've never had the chicken.
Don't do the
fries.
chicken fries. It's not right.
You know what? I randomly got a chicken fry by accident. Like, I grabbed a bag of fries out. There was one chicken fry hanging out my fries.
You're fucking.
I kind of was.
Fuck you. You're like, it's like a new day. I get it.
I'm a conspiracy. Well, I'm actually not a conspiracy theorist, but in this situation, I went, are they trying to just slide me a chicken fry in? So next time I come and get chicken fries, that next time my order is going to go up by $2.37 or however much they are.
Tim Hortons went to the hash brown fry. It's not a disc anymore. It's 3 or 4 French fry type of chicken fry hash brown.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very.
The only thing I've had from them is coffee, and then 1 or 2 times I got those breakfast McMuffin things that they have, which are solid for. I mean, it's better than a McDonald's thing, I think.
Double with a splash of caramel.
Huh?
Double with a splash of caramel.
I like my coffee like I like my women, hot, black, and bitter.
Wow.
Actually, 2 cream and 1 Splendor. I do like light skin.
I was gonna say,
but yes, I do. I do go with. I do go generally at home. It's black and Splenda, right? Because who has time to remember to get the accoutrement for your shit in there. But when I'm out, it's 2 cream, 4 Splenda if I get the large.
Large is it? Super. If I go extra large, it's 3 and 3.
Yeah,
it's trips with a splash of caramel.
Yeah, but I make coffee at the house, which baffled her. I told Aaliyah one day, I was like, oh, yeah. And she, what? Coffee? How? Like this is.
We grow the plant.
In the back. You go pick the beans, you shuck the beans, you grind the beans.
And you put them in sunlight for 48 hours.
Yes. No, but so the fact that I told her, and this is what I love about millennials, and I don't know, dude, she doesn't have food in her house. Like
if you would have said
old Mother
Keurig,
Hubbard.
would it have changed?
No, still, she don't know about none of it.
No.
They go out to She was like, you go out and get coffee. What do you mean? There's coffee in your house? Is there like a special room?
Is there stores?
Is it that one cupboard that I've never opened? Is that where the coffee comes from? Like, yeah, no, completely baffled. No, dude, coffee is a staple in my house. Like,
oh, it's got it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just bought a coffee pot and a Keurig. It does both.
Yeah. I'm over the Keurig. You know what?
There's good Keurigs out there, or hot chocolates, or whatever. No,
hey guy,
I like it.
Hey guy,
no.
Have you ever felt the plastic on here? I've worked in injection mold, right? I've worked in injection mold, and I've studied heating of plastic, right?
Okay.
The temperature in which that is heated and brewed and comes out and whatever, there is plastic shenanigan.
Listen, Nitro, I like my Keurig.
Okay, go ahead, bring.
But no, hey, Keurig's it. It was a Christmas gift.
Oh, I Keurig for years, bro.
No, but I'm just saying it's the dual thing. The dual thing.
Yeah. No, I did it for years. And don't get me wrong. I mean, when I watch my mom and my sister's dogs and I'm at the house, I have the Keurig because that's all I have, right? So I have the Keurig. But when I take the thing out and it's hot and I'm like, how much plastic? Then again, I drink Diet Mountain Dew, which is like drinking acid and, strychnine every day.
Right.
So it's whatever. I'm fine. But I like my coffee pure.
My first Keurig experience, real quick, dentist office. I'm exiting the dentist office and I'm waiting for them to. It's like, hey, let me try a Keurig. Never tried it before. I drank it. By the time it was like maybe a 10-minute drive home, I was feeling like on top of the world, and I don't know what it was, but it was a Keurig. It was that caffeine rush. Oh my God, I was a chatty Cathy, and I was like, I can solve the world's problems just with one cup of Keurig. Yeah. For the first time.
I mean, yeah, coffee's to me,
Right.
It's why I don't get like too overwhelmed by vagina anymore, right? It's a vagina. Unless there's something wrong with it, it's fine. I found a couple that had like a broken valve.
Really?
It felt really good going in, but then on the exhale, like it didn't, because there is a suction process going in and going out, right? It's not magic that we can like achieve an erection and just stand here in the air and do like the Pee Wee Herman dance, right?
Sure.
And eventually it would go down. It's just hitting air, right? It's not doing anything. But there is the roomp, and it goes in and then it suction on the way out, which, it's a lot like an accordion of blood going back and forth, right? So if a couple valves are broken it goes in, but then you go to pull back out and the suction on the way back out feels perfectly good. Feels like 98% of all the vagines going in. Good vagine. But on the way out, it like had a broken like rung or valve or something.
It just
weird.
Hot dog down the hallway type of.
No, it was good on the way in, unless like you were
what did it
banging an anvil, right?
What did it go against a file on the way back out?
I have no idea. Maybe like you've seen those sex toys that kind of look like an ace of spade whatever thing. They're used to go somewhere else. Maybe that was being used in there because that would leave an extra thing and whatever.
That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
J-Win.
Yeah, for sure. Well, on that note, let me see what time frame we're at here. Oh, we're at 43. It was good. The old 30-minute segments. It's impossible.
No, we could go on for.
Yeah, and we went scatter all over the place too. That was neat.
That was cool.
I think if we listen back, it'll have a little bit of cohesion because it went relationship this. Then again, nobody has a map of the inside of my brain either, where it's like, oh, this and that, crazy girl, whatever. People acting badly. Do I have a story for people acting badly? Sure do. And I think this is very therapeutic for me because.
And chicken fries.
We're in there. Oh, and the chicken fry. Nobody saw that coming.
Nope.
Not even her. That's right. Both. It's a good combo. That's the new combo meal.
That's a good day.
Yes, it is. Well, this is the Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com. Matt from Redford, MFR. You like how I abbreviated your stuff on there?
Yeah, I'm going to start labeling that.
Dude, you should.
Trademark it.
I don't know if you saw the jizz towel or whatever, the cum towel. We did an episode a while ago about
yes.
the hanky and old men use hankies and then wash them. And then He was CT, cum towel and whatever. It's classy.
Embroidered?
So I think you should start embroidering your stuff.
Okay.
MFR. It'll lead to a story. Could you see being at a wedding and MFR, Matt?
Or motherfucker Redford.
That's right. You could be, depending on the area. If you're at a very gangster wedding, motherfucking Redford.
Motherfucking
Redford. Well, on that note, Jake Podcast, jakepodcast.com.